I've made videos about this before and I probably will continue to do them again, but it was another year where I ended up traveling back to the 1920s. Every year in New York City, we have a special party that happens in Governor's Island, and it's called the Jazz Age Lawn Party, which is basically just a picnic slash party during the day with live music, food, vendors, and most importantly, everybody dresses up and we pretend a little bit that it's prohibition area and we're having a party. It's always in the summer. It's always 2 weekends, one weekend in June, one weekend in August. And like, yeah, we were not planning on going this year, just, keep taking a break from it. But our friends were coming and they are really into that kind of stuff as well. And we just thought, oh, what the hell, we can go again. I have made outfits before and I have worn them and reworn them the past 3 years. The first year I made myself an actual 1920s dress from a pattern that I found on Etsy. It was this cute little pink dress. I got myself a little bob situation and I had fun with it. The second year I made myself another dress, this time a blue one. And then after that, the third year I started rewearing the outfit from the first year. And then this year I thought, okay, so we're doing one and one. Maybe I did not have time to make another outfit. It was happening, we decided it like 1 week before it was happening. So definitely I wasn't going to make something and I didn't really know how to put something together otherwise. So I decided to wear that same outfit from my second party. So I did one and one, 1 year one, 1 year the other. But I did want it to look different from the last time I wore it, just like any way I could make it look different. And that's how I ended up deciding that I was gonna make a cloche hat. I have never made one before, but I thought maybe I can crochet one or knit one, but crochet made more sense for this project specifically. So I wanted a hat that, a cloche hat, the very 1920s type, very close to the head, kind of looks like a little helmet situation. And since my hair's pretty short right now and it wasn't long enough to like actually make like a bob or like a curly or really anything that resemble the era, the cloche hat would also kind of help to hide that. And I managed to do a little bit of waving my hair in the front here, but I knew it wasn't going to be enough. So the cloche hat was two things. One, hiding the fact that I had really short hair that didn't quite fit the area, maybe a little too short. And two, give it the look, I'll make the dress look a little bit different from other times. You'd be surprised, and I was surprised, that there are quite a few 1920s cloche hats out there, patterns. I found a designer who specializes, I would say, or maybe just loves designing these type of hats. She has so many cloche hats, all like 1920s style. So it was more about like, which one do I want to make? So Janina Winkler Designs is the designer that I found. I found her on Etsy and then I found her on Ravelry, and she had her designs in both. And again, like I said, she just makes tons of 1920s hats of very different kinds and all, that looks true to the era. So I actually had a lot of options and I ended up choosing the one called Summer Cloche Hat Anna, just because it felt more summery. I felt like it was gonna look more apt for the occasion. I was gonna make it with cotton so that I wouldn't be too hot, so I don't feel like I'm wearing a beanie. And I don't know, it was cute. It looked simple, but also, cute enough. The pattern itself was pretty easy. I do want to note a few things. It did not have gauge, so I just kind of went with as close as possible I could with the yarn, and I kind of kept trying it on as I went just to make sure that it ended up not being too big or too small, that I wasn't going to fit, because it doesn't have a gauge. And then it also, the instructions are a little general, so you do have to kind of know how to crochet something in the round and like this type of hats. And I've crocheted similar things before, or at least I've crocheted amigurumi enough that I kind of knew how to do it. But if I hadn't known, maybe it would have been a little harder. So those two things to keep in mind. And then the other one is that there's only one size, so again, I'm just hoping that it would fit my head. So it's a little, based on this pattern, it's a little general. It's not like the most, it's not like the most customizable pattern. And I don't know if it's because it's based on actual vintage patterns or because it's just how the designer decided to write them. But I will say it did turn out to fit me and to look exactly like in the picture. So as long as I used I guess, like similar yarn, and then I tried it on and off. It worked out fine. So I will say that. If you wanted to make it bigger or smaller, or like for a kid size or something like that, you might have a little harder time. So just, before you buy the pattern, just keep that in mind if you want to make one like this. For the yarn, I went with simple Lion Brand yarn 24/7 cotton. I don't remember if I've used this yarn before, but literally I just went to the craft store nearest me and I looked for cotton yarn that was in the right weight. I believe it was DK. And so this was perfect. I got 2 skeins, but I ended up only needing 1 to make the entire hat. So now I have an extra one. And the reason I went with blue, not only because it matched the hat, but also because that's all they had that was the closest to a color that would go with my outfit at the craft store, and I didn't have time to order online or find something else. I originally wanted it to be more like a beige color, so that it would look more like summery, more, general, not specific to this outfit. But because I couldn't find that, I went with this baby blue. And honestly, I think it ended up working fine because it matches the dress. So I'm a little more matchy than I intended. And maybe it won't work for other outfits if I want to wear it again. But I am happy with the results. So it worked out fine. And the yarn, like I said, the yarn that was in the pattern, I don't think I have access to here. But this one worked just fine, and it's mercerized cotton, I think. So it's perfect for this type of project, like something that you want to hold for a while, that it's going to be, wearable and cool, but also strong. So I think it was a good yarn selection. The hat itself, here it is. It kind of just looks like a beanie when I hold it like this, I think. But this is how it was constructed. I started by crocheting in the round, kind of like like I said, what you do with amigurumi, and like just going around to create like the top shape. And then once you get to a certain length, it has some nice, cute little details. I think that this was a stitch that I had never done before, which was like a twisted stitch, and then it has some other like stitches that were to give it a little bit of texture, which I thought looked really nice, and also kind of helped the hat breathe a little more, because again, if all of it had been like really tight single crochet, I think it would have been very hot and not looked as nice. And then the brim itself was kind of interesting to do. It was like the most I had to think making this hat, because it's kind of created by it kind of creates like a double brim, and it's kind of a short brim, so it looks really cute. I'll try it on so that you can see. So it looks like this, and it's supposed to have like one brim up, one brim down, something like that. I think even without like the 1920s outfit and the 1920s hair, I think it looks really nice. It's really easy to wear, and it looks like a cloche hat. I kind of wish the brim was a little bit bigger, just because it didn't really cover me from the sun much. I think like I could have added one more row around the brim just to make it nice. It had really nice finishing touches, so it had like a nice round brim, and this is what it looked like when I wore it with the actual outfit. So like I said, I tried to curl wave the front of my hair however much I could, and I think it worked out actually pretty fine, and it helped for a while. Once I started sweating and like time went by, it started to like fall, but it worked for some of the pictures. Another thing that I added to the hat was a brooch. In the pattern, it tells you to add a brooch to kind of keep the brim up, and also add like another little detail. I thought that's one of the reasons I chose this hat, honestly, because I thought it was really cute and like different, and it was like an easy way to adding something extra and make it look different if I wanted to wear it again. And I happen to have some brooches in my collection, not that many, and not a round one, which is kind of what I would have wanted. But I do have this little butterfly brooch that I really love, that I thrifted, and I mean, it looks antique. I don't know when it's from, but it was very cute and it worked perfect for this, I think. So I added the brooch to the hat, and it looks something like this. I thought it was really nice and cute, and people complimented me on it, so it was a nice addition. I would like to, like I said, find another brooch that was more like a round shape, but this works out fine on the go, and it was like kind of what I had in mind when I started working on it, so I thought it was good. So this is what the final fit looked like, wearing the dress that I made a couple years ago and the hat that I made this year. It was really fun. We did a lot of dancing. We put together a new outfit for my husband because he'd been wearing the same one for the past 3 years, and he was like, I need a new outfit. So I did not end up making him pants, but I did buy knickerbockers online somewhere, like really cheap knickers, because we wanted to do more like a golf type of outfit from the 1920s, and I thought it looked great. He was a little hot with it, and he was wearing a vest that I knit earlier this year that fit perfectly for this whole thing. If you want to watch the full video about how I made that vest and why, I recommend you do. I would put it in the description and probably also a link. But yes, he looked great, I thought, and our friends also dressed up and looked great. It was really, really fun. It was, I think, one of the best parties that we've done, just because the company makes it, and they were all really excited to be there, and we saw the other people wearing wonderful outfits. It's kind of crazy to like see how much people get into this and how well they do. So that was really fun. I always loved this party, and I'm glad that we ended up going after all, and that even though I couldn't make a whole dress, I did end up making something new for my outfit. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with how this hat turned out and the decision to make it. I actually really like a lot of the other hats that I saw on this design, and even though I know that I have to be careful with the yarn that I use and that it fits me, and now that I saw how easy it was, maybe I will make more for future things or just for fun. I do like wearing this in general. Maybe I'll wear it outside 1920s situations. It's a cute hat. So yeah, let me know what you think. Would you knit yourself a cloche hat? Would you wear it? And would you go to a 1920s day party? And it's always really fun watching everybody dress up. So I thought this was a success, and maybe next year, I don't know, maybe next year I will make another dress or another hat or both. Who knows? I guess it's just a matter of seeing where we are next year. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you are inspired to make yourself a cloche hat. I really do recommend crochet for this project. And yeah, happy making!